Hello Orchestra, this is page 33 of String Basics. Today we're going to learn a new note called C natural. Basically, I'm going to demonstrate how to play your note in just a minute after I show the violins and violas and cellos. All right, let's take a look at the pictures at the top of the page first. What we're going to learn on this page is placing a low second finger on note C. We're going to understand something called pickup notes, right there, and something called a fermata. Now you remember from the page before that we used F natural, or we played F natural, by sliding that second finger from F sharp position down to touching the first finger, and that gives us the F natural. Remember how we did that? F sharp, F natural, F sharp, F natural. That's called a low second finger. We're sliding our finger lower on the string to get a new sound. Now, if you'll simply just move your fingers over the A string, we're going to move our second finger C sharp down to touch our first finger, and guess what? There is our C natural. C sharp, C natural. Now, cellos and basses, or at least cellos, you're going to find your C natural the same way you did your F natural on the D string. So pretend this is a cello. Remember, your third finger was F sharp normally. To play F natural on the D string, you played your second finger. We're going to do the same thing with you on your A string. And guess what? Third finger is C sharp. Second finger is C natural. So you're going to play your C natural right there between the two fingers. Now basses, I'm going to go get the bass and show you your new note. There's actually two ways for you to play this new note, C natural. So I'm going to go get it now. Okay, basses. Hello. So you're going to play on the G string, okay, this new note, C natural. Let's first find our C sharp. Remember when we shifted to this position and our second finger right here was our C sharp, and our fourth finger right here was the D. So we had our D and our C sharp. My first finger right here is the new note C natural. So we have C sharp, and now our C natural right here. There's a picture in your book that shows that you can play C natural with your first finger and then D with your fourth finger normal. Now this position right here on the G string is C natural. You can also play that with your fourth finger. If you were in this position, you could put your fourth finger on that spot and play C natural with your fourth finger. That would put your second finger here on B. Remember, this is your normal B spot. So you have two choices of how to play C natural. You can do it with your fourth finger here and your second finger on the B. Or you can be in this position and we can play C natural with our first finger. So you can play it with your fourth finger or your first finger. And the book on your first exercise has you playing it with your fourth finger. And then on the second exercise of your book, it has you playing it with the first finger. You'll see what I mean once we get there. All right, I'm back. Got the bass put away. All right, so I want to use the violin for the rest of the video. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next thing we're learning on this page. Is called a fermata. It kind of looks like the eye of a bird. Kind of like and some people actually call this a bird's eye. That little diagram. Play the note longer than its value. Basically just play it until the director tells you to stop, if you see that. Pickup notes. one or more notes coming before the first full measure of music. And this red note right here, we call this note a pick-up note because it is part of a measure that's incomplete. Notice there's only one beat in that measure, and the next measure has all 4 beats. This one's missing a bunch of beats. So we're going to give that a name, call it a pickup note. C natural cityscape. As we look through the song, we've got our A string, half note, A4, B2, B4, and here is our C. Be careful not to make it a C sharp. I know you're used to playing C as a C sharp, but we're going to lower our second finger, violins and violas, so that it's close to and touching our first finger in order to get that sound C natural. This next C is also C natural. All of the C's in this song are natural. All right, let's go ahead and try it. Get your instruments up. As we play, I'm going to try to have you see my fingers and notice that we're first and second finger are touching. We don't have the space any longer because that would make it a C sharp. So we're lowering the second finger. Exercise 158, C natural, cityscape. Rest 2, 3, 4. A2, A4, B2, B4. Here it is, C natural 2, C4, C2, C4, B2, C4, B2, B4, A2, A4, A2, lift and set, repeat. And 159, adding D to our song. Now by going back to our basses, on 158 basses, that's where you are using your 4th finger to play the C. I hope you were doing that. On your books it says 4 on this note, and that means use your 4th finger to play your C natural. Now in this particular exercise, basses, you're going to use your 1st finger to play the C natural, and then you'll use your 4th finger for the D. All right, here we go. Violins and violas, make sure you are reaching for with your 3rd finger in order to get to that D, that you don't accidentally have your 3rd finger sliding down with your 2nd finger. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Lift and set. And so on. Sad scale 160. If you look at the notes, they start low and they go up the staff, just like our D scale did earlier in the book. But here's what's different. The F and the C violins, I'm looking at your staff, are not sharped. What does that mean we're going to do with our finger on the F? We're going to lower it so that it touches our 1st finger. And when we get to the C right here, we're lowering the C finger so that it sounds like it's C natural. So the F's and the C's are both going to be played with a lowered 2nd finger for violins and violas. Cello, that means you're playing your F's and C's with your 2nd finger. And our bass is choosing or playing their F natural with their 2nd finger and your C natural with the correct finger that your book suggests. which I believe it suggests your first finger on this particular scale. All right, half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. Here's the F natural, there it is. Reach for the G, A, 2, B. Now C natural and D. D, 2, C natural, B, 2, open A for the violins, G, 2, F natural, E, 2, D. Repeat. Practice that song several times until it sounds correct and your fingers are cooperating. Shalom, Chaverim, an Israeli folk song. This particular song, they want us to start with this note, a single note, in a measure all by itself. Whenever you see that, that's called a pickup note. Also notice that this particular note has an up bow marking, which means we're going to not start here by the frog like we normally do. We're going to go out here by the tip of the bow, and we're going to start with an up bow on the A. Now it's been a few days since we've played eighth notes, so remember when we see eighth notes, we're going to say the number, and then we're going to say the word and for the next paired eighth note. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, starting with an up bow. And I'm going to count 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to start. Rest, 2, 3. 2 and F natural. C natural. 2, rest, up bow. 2, rest. 2, rest. A, B. And so on. Bourree, or Bourree, something like that. Down here it says measures 3, 4, 7. Something about measures 3. Here's measure 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The note B is played with your regular second finger placement. Okay, so when we get to measure 3, which is right here. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, isn't this measure 1, 2, and 3? Well, yes, but since this is an incomplete measure, this is a pickup note, we're going to count the measure starting with the first complete measure. Now the reason they're pointing this out is because we've been moving our second finger to play C natural and F natural. Okay, we've been violins, violas, you've been sliding that second finger down to play it on the D and A string. We don't have to do anything different with our fingers when we're on the G string. All right, maybe we should just count the rhythm of the notes first. I'm going to say rest, 2, 3, and then we're going to say 4, and we're going to play E. But right now I'm just going to point with my mouse and say the numbers. Rest, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, rest. This time I think it might be helpful if we sing the notes. E, A. All right, ready? We're going to sing the notes this time. rest, 2, 3. E, A, E, A, E, F, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B, C, B, C, A, E, A, E, A, E, F, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B, A, to rest. The song starts with an up bow. So come on out here to the tip of the bow. Rest, 2, 3. E, A, E, A, E, F, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B, C, B, C, A, E, F, E, F, E, F, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B, A, to rest. Snake Charmer. This could possibly be one of your favorite songs in the book. This is kind of the popular song that's played in cartoons and movies when there's a person sitting at a wicker basket and they're playing their little flute and the snake comes out of the basket and dances as they play. They're called snake charming people. Have you ever seen or heard of anything like that? Well, this is the song that's usually played to charm the snake out of its basket and have it come up. It's usually like a cobra. Comes out and looks around why the musician plays his flute. All right, let's talk a little bit about the song and then we can try to play it. These two notes are pickup notes, not a complete measure, so we call them pickup notes. Up bow, and they're slurred. So lots of things new right there in that first pickup measure. We've got some slurring going on here. We've got a fourth finger A here, fourth finger all the way through on all of those A's with a slur from A to G, a slur from E to F. And of course, all of the F's are natural, F natural, meaning our lowered second finger. Maybe it'd be good if you just count the rhythm first, like this. Rest, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. All right, let's try to play it together. Okay, don't start at the frog. Start out here at the tip of the bow. And I'll count 3, and then you start playing. Rest, 2, 3. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and lots of good songs on that page. Spend some good time learning to play them so that they sound nice to you and that you enjoy your playing, because I do want you to enjoy the sound of your playing. And if you're making lots and lots of mistakes, that's normal, but you don't want to just end your practice time with a lot of mistakes. You want to be able to keep working on things until they start sounding good and you start hearing this wonderful tune, wonderful melody coming out of your instrument. It gives you lots of joy and satisfaction when that happens. But you have to work at it. All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you next time.